Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome to today's webinar for Reading Academic English. We are going to continue our adventures looking at some new vocabulary and checking out a new article for today. And so as always, I picked out this article. We'll be going through the article, but feel free to interrupt me with questions. You can type in the chat here, or whatever, questions, comments, things like that. So, but let me share my screen and we'll take a look at today's article here. And it always takes me a little bit of time to figure out what I am doing. All right. Okay, very good, very good. And then last time I just kind of moved. Who knows? Who knows where I can live up here? I don't know what makes sense. If I'm looking over here, I think I did it down here last time. I think that works. I don't know. I think that works. Okay. So so this is our article today. Now I picked an article that's quite a bit shorter this week. Just I know the last couple of articles are pretty long. This one is just basically one page. So I mean, we can kind of in 1 hour we can go through pretty much all of this article, which is kind of nice. So, but it still has interesting vocabulary in it, but no pictures. So we don't know anything on this. So we're just going to be, well, interesting here. We're just going to take a look at it and see what we can understand. And also let me, see, there we go. All right. I think that looks good. All right, great. So for our approach, even though it's a short article, we're still going to use our same basic approach, which is to start with the title. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the beginning, the first paragraph, and then we're going to skip to the end and look at the last paragraph before we try to read through all of it. Just again, the general idea, just try to get the general idea first. All right, so let's start with our title. Here's our title. Drones are helping catch poachers operating under cover of darkness. Okay, drones are helping catch poachers operating under cover of darkness. All right, so the first question is, just by looking at this title, what can you understand? What can you understand from this title? I don't know what the heck this is. Poachers. Drones, you may or may not know. Drones are, what's a drone? So typically now when we talk about drones, they're these machines small machines that fly with usually a camera. If it's something that a person owns, it's with a camera, although the military also uses drones as well. If I were shopping for drones, let's see, can I, let's see if I can't, let's see, drones, shopping. Oh, here we go. Let me move this over like this. Drones. Here we go. Here are different drones. Okay. So this is what we're talking about. It can be like these kind of helicopters, but look at this. Look at this one. Oh my goodness. This is over 10 grand for this. What in the world? What am I going to do with a drone like this? Long range, Delta Squad, long range surveillance, UAV. Would this be legal for me to get something like this? Holy cow. All right, let's see. It's noisy. Turn that off. Wow. All right. Oh my. This is frightening. This makes me nervous. Anyway, 10 grand for a drone like this. Okay. So when we're talking about drones, this is what we're referring to. Drones. Okay. So drones are helping catch poachers operating under cover of darkness. All right. So I guess, I mean, this part here is pretty basic. Operating. Not sure. Operating here under cover of darkness. So this means it's, I don't know, maybe hidden, something like that. Something's being hidden, maybe. Operating, but let's look at poachers. This is something that we need to really clarify. Let's look at poachers here. What is the meaning of poachers? So we're going to go to Cambridge dictionary here, and let's take a look at poachers. Poacher. What's a poacher? Okay. Poacher, someone who catches and kills animals illegally. Someone who catches and kills animals illegally. And we've got a couple of sentences here. We have poachers hunt and kill the rhinos for their horns. So rhinos are rhinoceros. Let's take a look. So these guys right here. So a poacher is someone who would catch and kill illegally a rhino or rhinoceros to sell their horns or whatever they're doing. The ranger's main job is to deter poachers. Okay, and this is a ranger is a person whose job is to protect a forest or natural park. Okay, great. So we are talking about criminals. We're talking about bad people here. These are I don't know if this is like a bad person here. I don't know why I make it like, it looks like a cat. But anyway, bad person. And then operate. Let's go back to, let's take a look at operate. Okay, operate, to cause to work, or to cause to work, be in action, or have an effect. To operate is just another, I don't know if it's a more academic or professional way to say to work, to do something, to work or to cause something to work, to be in action or have an effect. Can also be used in medicine. If a doctor is operating on a person, they're doing surgery on a person. But here I think the idea is that we are talking about criminals who are doing their work under the cover of darkness. Maybe that means at night, or it's hidden. I'm not sure what the idea here is, under the cover of darkness. But the point is, we have bad guys, criminals who are killing animals, and then these drones are helping catch them, right? So that's the basic idea here I'm getting from this sentence. We'll see, so maybe they use something like this if they're hunting animals And so then these drones are hunting the poachers. I guess. So we'll have to look deeper into the article to see if that's truly the idea. Okay, so that's the title. Next, we're going to look at the first paragraph and the last paragraph to see if this is true, see if we've got a clear idea here. All right, so let's start with this, our first paragraph, and see if it seems to be that way. All right, here we go. First paragraph. Catching a wildlife poacher in the act is a tricky business. Just ask the officials and groups who have spent decades and millions of dollars searching for criminal animal hunters and traders, operating covertly from South Africa to China. Their work is complicated by several factors, from government corruption that foils anti-poaching efforts to extreme poverty that draws people into the industry in the first place. But there's also the simple issue of darkness. Poachers tend to go about their illicit business under cover of night, and it's hard to find people among millions of square miles of pitch black forest. Okay. Interesting. So right away, we have this here of night. Illicit business under cover of night. So that's interesting. That answers this question here about under the cover of darkness. So we're talking about at night. Poachers tend to do their business at night. All right, very good, very good. Actually, I want to use a different, okay, let's see here. But let's see. So the main idea, we've got these poachers. Okay, here's another way to express it. Criminal animal hunters and traders. So I take this as another way of just saying poachers. So again, it's a good definition of a poacher. Operating covertly. I want to look at, so there's some vocabulary in here I want to look at. So covertly is a word I want to look at. Covertly. Foils, interesting word here. Extreme poverty in the first place, simple issue of darkness, and illicit. Okay. Pitch black forest. Okay, so these three words I want to focus on: covertly, foils, and illicit. So let's start with covertly. Covertly. What is the meaning of covertly? So we can go with covert. Well, we'll try covertly first. And oh, here we go. Yeah. So secretly or in a hidden way. Terrorists have been operating covertly in America. Other examples here. Anyway, it's just enough to know that this is another way of saying secretly. So it is in a secret way. So operating secretly, operating covertly. So we could say secretly or covertly. Great. All right. So in that sentence, just ask the officers and groups who have spent decades and millions of dollars searching for these poachers who are operating, right? Working. I should put that here. This is operating as working, right? Working secretly from South Africa to China. Their work Whose work? The poachers? No. So the there here is referring to the people the officials and groups who are trying to stop the poachers. So their work is complicated or difficult. Actually, we have complicated, which is difficult, and tricky business, which also gives the idea of being so complicated here, tricky here. Both of these are saying it's difficult. Difficult, it's hard. Oops, I can write it there. Difficult. So it's difficult, complicated by several factors, from government corruption. Oh, I'm sorry. I want my covertly. Yeah. No, that's good. Oh, foils. That was the other word I wanted. Okay, so the work of the officials and groups is made difficult for several factors or several reasons, several elements, things, from government corruption that foils anti-poaching efforts to extreme poverty that draws people into the industry in the first place. Okay, foils. I'm interested in the word foils. So let's go. Foils or foil, probably could say to foil. Foil. So we have a noun and we have some tin foil or aluminum foil, a thin sheet of metal. But this is a noun. We're not interested in the noun. If we look here, this is being used as a verb. This is being used as a verb that foils anti-poaching efforts. So these factors their work is concerned by several factors. That, should that just be a foil? Did they make a mistake here? That foil anti-poaching efforts. I think so. I think this is a mistake here because we have the plural factors. Their work is complicated by several factors that foil anti-poaching efforts, because foil is our verb here. I'm going to say that's a mistake. Let's take a look at the verb foil, see what we get. The verb foil. Here we go. Foil. To prevent someone or something from being successful. So basically just to stop somebody from doing whatever they're trying to do. Somebody's trying to do something and you stop it, you foil their efforts. Foil. The prisoner's attempt to escape was foiled at the last minute when police received a tip-off. So the prisoner's attempt to escape was foiled, was stopped. So to foil means basically to stop. So that stops, or that factors that stop anti-poaching efforts. So meaning here they are trying to stop the poachers, but these other factors are stopping their anti-poaching efforts, right? So this is against. So things are stopping them from stopping the poachers. Does that make sense? There are factors that are stopping them from stopping the poachers. That's the idea. Wow. Okay. Well, that's fine for this first paragraph. What do we understand here? There's nothing here about drones. Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing. Illicit. Wanted to mention illicit. Okay. So, but there's also the simple issue of darkness. Poachers tend to go about their illicit business under cover of night. So let's go ahead with illicit here. Illicit. Illegal or disapproved by society. Very simple. Illegal. So they're illegal, they're criminal activity. So the word illicit could be used for something illegal or just something that's considered bad in society. But here, definitely illegal business, illegal. So we can say here, illegal, if I can fit it in there, illegal. Cool. Okay. So they tend to, usually tend to here is just, they usually do this thing. So they usually go about their business, their illegal business at night. That's it. That's it. Okay. So this is just setting up the problem of the poachers. We've got these poachers. They're difficult to stop them. And these poachers are usually working at night. So there are other factors that cause them to do this poaching. But for the officials and groups who are trying to stop them, their work is it's difficult. It's difficult. It's tricky. It's complicated. Difficult, tricky, complicated. Okay, that's enough for this first paragraph. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and skip all the way to the end. Now, this is a shorter article, so it's just one page. And we're just going to look at this last paragraph. And again, so we haven't read through the details. We don't care about the details, but we just want to make sure we have a clear idea of what the main topic here is. So just reinforcing our guesses. So let's take a look at the final paragraph of the article. There isn't much time to spare before carcasses are all that remain of several endangered species. The African elephant continues to suffer losses. Less than 500,000 now roam the continent. Rhinos live in few places outside national parks and other protected areas. And the population of the western lowland gorilla has declined by 60% over the last 2 decades, in large part due to illegal poaching. If these animals are to be saved for the benefit of wildlife enthusiasts and ecosystems alike, efforts like those of Air Shepherd will likely play a key role. All right, so this is our last paragraph. We haven't read through the article. We don't know the information that comes before this. So what can we understand or see from this last paragraph? Well, one thing jumps out. So we talked about rhinos. 2 other animals jump out though. We have elephant and gorilla, right? Is that right? So I see they're talking about these animals, and these must be animals that are commonly targeted by poachers. So the African elephant, rhinos, and the gorilla. We already looked at so I'm sure you know the rhino is maybe the more unusual. So we've looked at the rhino. Everyone knows what an elephant is, right? So we've got an elephant here. If I click on it, oh, look at that, it just blows it up. Oh, that's kind of cool. I do that with a rhino as well. Boom. All right, and then gorilla. So here they've given us 3 examples of what is getting poached, what is illegally being targeted by these poachers. All right, so we have elephant, rhino, and gorilla. And is that it? Is that it? Okay, I think so. And this first sentence here, all right, there isn't much time to spare before the carcasses. So I'm interested in this word here, carcasses, are all that remain of several endangered species. This phrase as well. So in this first sentence, let's take a look at that. So carcass will be the first thing to look up. Carcass. So carcass. Carcass, the body of a dead animal, especially a large one that is soon to be cut up as meat or eaten by wild animals. Wow. All right. Dead animal, the body of a dead animal. So here again, we're talking about these poachers are killing. I don't know if they catch them ever live or if they always kill them. I think if you're poaching animals, I think it usually means you kill them, but I don't know if that's always true. But here, we're definitely talking about killing the animals because we have the carcasses here are the bodies, dead bodies of these animals. Right, dead bodies. Okay, so there isn't much time to spare. This is an interesting phrase. There isn't much time to spare. What does that mean, time to spare? And what does spare mean here? There isn't much time to spare. So spare is, the word spare means like extra or waste. If you think about in your car, in the back of your car, you may have a spare tire. You have a wheel with an extra tire. So extra, something that's spare, it's going to be extra. Here it says there isn't extra time. There isn't. So we're basically saying there isn't a lot of time left. We don't have much time. We don't have extra time. So there isn't much time before carcasses are all that remain, of several endangered species. Okay. So there isn't extra time before these endangered species that all we have are the bodies. So we're running out of time. We have limited time. We have less time before all that we have are bodies that remain of several endangered species. So two things really fast. Let's look up endangered, which you may see has the word danger in it. In danger of being harmed, lost, or unsuccessful. If we talk about animals, these are animals. Oh, they did not give us any. Oh, here we go, right here. Animals or plants that may soon not exist because there are very few now alive. Right. So endangered. Oh, and then they have the word species here, which species is just going to be a category of animal. So in this final paragraph, then, those examples of endangered species would be rhinos, gorillas, and elephants. These are the three examples here. So there isn't much time to spare. There isn't extra time before these animals, rhinos, gorillas, and elephants, that all is left are the carcasses or the just bodies, right? That nothing else would remain. So this is, of course, they're endangered. They're in danger. Great. All right. And then we have a number less than 500,000, 500,000 elephants. That's a lot. That seems like a lot of elephants to me, but I don't know. Less than 500,000 now roam the continent. Well, okay, that's true. So that means all of Africa. Roam here, roam the continent. So continent of Africa, you have that whole area, less than 500,000. Let's take a quick look at roam. Roam. To move about or travel, especially without a clear idea of what you want or where you're going to. So these animals are wandering around. I think moving around without a goal or a clear direction is probably the best way to think of it. So less than 500,000 of these animals, these elephants, are roaming, wandering around Africa. So now roam. Yeah, I don't know. We could just say move around. Move around. Move around. Okay, good. Rhinos live in few places outside of national parks and other protected areas. Okay, so here the idea is it's just that rhinos are usually inside of protected areas, so not usually in the wild. That's the idea here. They're not living in the wild. And the population of the western lowland gorilla has declined by 60% over the last 2 decades, in large part due to illegal poaching. If these animals are to be saved for the benefit of wildlife enthusiasts and ecosystems alike, efforts like those of Air Shepherd will likely play a key role. So this Air Shepherd here, looks like maybe a company or organization of some kind, because it's capitalized. Organization, maybe? Don't know. I don't know what that is. So yeah, so the basic idea here of this last paragraph is saying that we have this problem, we have this danger of poachers killing off these animals. And if these animals are to be saved, it would have to be something like this organization that would do it. And we have these 3 examples of animals that shows us why, that how much danger there is here, right? Less than 500,000 for the elephants, 60% of the gorillas have declined, and then the rhinos are not even in the wild very much anymore. Okay, great. So, and this is a condition, right? This is a conditional. If these animals are to be saved, then something like this Air Shepherd will likely play a key role. What about that? Likely play a key role. Interesting final sentence there. Likely play a key role. So to play a role is great to play a role. It's like to participate, to do a job, so to play a role is to have some kind of a specific job or specific effect on something. And then key, what about key here? What does that mean? Key. So key here would be important. So they will probably be important in this job, is what they're saying here. It'll probably be companies like this Air Shepherd or whatever this is organization, will probably be important, right? So I could put that there. So probably important. All right, cool. Likely play a key role, probably important. Good. Okay, wonderful. Last thing, very last thing here. Wildlife enthusiasts. I just wanted to mention this quickly. Wildlife enthusiasts. So the word wildlife just means animals in general, wild animals, as opposed to pets like cats and dogs that live with you in your home. That is not wildlife. So wildlife, the word wild means they're right, not you don't own them. Plants and animals that grow independently of people, usually in natural conditions. So that's wildlife. And then an enthusiast is a person So we have this word enthusiasm. Oops, if I can't spell it. Enthusiasm is being excited, right? This is the noun enthusiasm, to be excited. And an enthusiast is a person who is excited about something, a person who is very interested in and involved with a particular subject or activity. So a fitness enthusiast, a model aircraft enthusiast, whatever. Someone who is very interested in and involved with a particular subject of activity. Okay, same thing. So here, a wildlife enthusiast would just be a person who likes wild animals. So the benefit of those kinds of people who they would be happy to stop the poachers, right? Happy to stop the poachers. Okay, great. So that's good for this final paragraph. I think that we understand what the problem is. We have poachers. They're difficult to stop. This idea with the drones, though, we don't really get any information from the first paragraph and the last paragraph, any specifics about the drones. So the next thing I want to do is just skim this article as we've done in the past. I'm going to put 30 seconds. I think we can do it like this. We can go maybe 30 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't know, something like that. We'll try it. I might cheat a little bit here. So we've looked at that first paragraph. So I'm going to set, so if I go 1, okay, good. And then 2, and then 3, something like that. So that would be what, 90 seconds? That'd be a 90-second skim. Okay. Now I want you to remember the point of skimming is not to read it straight through. Our goal here is not to read it. You're just letting your eyes race around the text, noticing vocabulary that you recognize. Again, keeping your mind thinking about the main idea. We'll look at the details later once we read more slowly. But right now, we're just trying to get a sense of the main idea. So I'm going to set my phone here for 90 seconds. And let's see here. Let's see. Should always have that in my first. There we go. Awesome. Oops, that's an hour. We don't want an hour. You can be cheating right now and looking at minutes. So we want 1:30. Okay, great. All right, so continue skimming and I will move at that point. So please skim the article. Thank you. You jump to the bottom. You don't have to start at the top. Just jump, let your eyes race around the page. Okay. Okay. So again, too fast to really understand much of it, but that's not the goal. The goal is just to see kind of what we got going on in this article. And just to remind you, when we're doing this kind of an activity with an article like this, if you're considering using this article for research, you want to know how much time and attention you're going to give this text, because you might decide after doing what we've done, looking at the title, looking at the first paragraph, looking at the last paragraph, and doing a quick skim, you may realize, this isn't exactly what I'm looking for. I need to find a different article. And so it might not be your goal to even use this article. But what did we notice from our skimming? I noticed three things basically. So a lot of who knows what the details are. So the first thing I noticed are, we've got a lot of numbers going on in here. Just see numbers. This has to do with some money. Numbers are good to see. Who knows? But so a lot of numbers. That's great. I noticed we've got, this looks like maybe a researcher or an authority or something. So some names, place names, that kind of thing. All right. Also, I was happy to see the word drone sprinkled throughout here. So we got drones. Where else? Drones. Where else? I don't know. I saw drones. I did. I really see. There it is. Drones. So that's good. So I know that we're going to get a lot more information on the drones, which I was hoping we would, because we didn't really learn much about the drones from the first paragraph. There we go. Drones. So we've got information on drones, which is good. Drone. Great. Okay. So that's good there. We're dealing with drones. We've got some numbers, and then we've got some names of some specific people. Now, in terms of what's actually happening and how they're doing this, I don't know. We're going to have to take a look a little deeper to see what the process is, because what's confusing to me is that if they're trying to catch the poachers who are working at night, they're working in the darkness, how is a drone like we're seeing going to help them, right? If a drone is using a camera. So I guess that's the idea we want to understand. Oh, AI? What in the world? What is this AI? Well, all right. So let's so how many paragraphs do we have here? So we've got this first, our introduction, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, very good. So let's hit this paragraph number 2, just because this AI here. I mean, and I wouldn't just limit myself to that. I might even just jump down here and see if I can figure out what's going on. But this makes the idea of AI makes me curious. So let's take a look at this paragraph 2 and see if this gives us any clear of an idea. But at the very least, so even if I don't answer the question about how these drones are doing it, by the time I read through all of this, I should know if this is going to be helpful for me, interesting for me, useful for me. And then I would continue going through the article. 100% through everything in the article. But let's take a look at paragraph number 2. 80% of poaching happens under the cover of darkness, says Otto Verdmuller von Elg, the head of a pioneering group of conservationists conservationists, entrepreneurs, and researchers called Air Shepherd. Oh, okay. His team is using a high-tech combination of airborne drones and artificial intelligence to find poachers at night, tipping the scales in conservationists' favor. We're going to take the nighttime back, he adds. Air Shepherd has worked in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. It's about to launch in Botswana as well. Okay. Interesting. So several things here. So this is kind of just repeating something that we already know, that poaching usually happens at night. We already know that. We have a specific person's name here, and then also Air Shepherd. This is important because we have talked about Air Shepherd. So we see that Air Shepherd is a group. So it looks like it's not a government group. It looks like it's not a business necessarily. I'm not sure, but a group, a pioneering group. Wow, interesting. Okay. So they're using a combination, two things. So airborne drones, airborne, and AI, artificial intelligence. Very interesting, artificial intelligence. Great. Airborne just means in the air. These are drones that are in the air. I thought all drones were in the air, but maybe I guess you could have some maybe driving on the ground. I don't know. So a combination of these drones and AI to find poachers at night. We're going to take the nighttime back, and it looks like Africa, and we're focused on the continent of Africa. Great. Okay. Well, I think then further on, I would need to, I'm really interested in how are we using AI or artificial intelligence to do this work. And this is what I would continue reading to understand, to try to get an idea of what's happening there. But okay, but that's good for us for today. This again, just kind of an introduction into reading academic English and kind of getting used to the process of approaching texts in this manner. Thank you for joining me. So next week, we're going to be here doing the same thing. If you have a request in terms of a topic that you'd like us to look at, a particular article perhaps to look at, or even if you have any specific English-related questions, I'll try to get to those as well next time. Wonderful. All right. Great. Let's see. I want to make sure that this all saves and all of that. Yes. Is this going to work? No. All right. Don't know. Okay. That's good. That's good for now. See everybody next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.